According to the EPA, a low pH and a high presence of aluminum are enough to result in fish kills. The pH of this water is around 5, enough to keep several species out. To locate a cache, just check the GPS on your phone and check the hint. Not the wall and not the rail. There are over 2 million caches like this all across the globe. Hi everyone, and welcome to your weekend wrap-up. I'm Alex Dye, and this week it's all about Redskins training camp. We're starting it off with the news that shocked Skins fans this week. Jarvis Jenkins was suspended for the first 4 games after testing positive for PEDs. The NFL announced this afternoon the 25-year-old is in trouble for violating the league's policy on performance-enhancing substances. Jenkins said in a statement he was shocked and confused that it's an obscure substance and he's not sure how it got in his body, that he guessed it came from one of the supplements he was taking. Well, of course, the one player on every fan's mind, RG3, he took the field this week after a season-ending injury last year. And this is what the star quarterback says of his expectations for the coming season. Although you can get your required 30 to 60 minutes of exercise per day doing anything, weightlifting adds an extra element. Lifting helps increase your metabolism, burn calories, and tone your body. A 12-year-old child runs away, and police send out an alert in the middle of the night, waking many people up. Now, we've been questioning them as to why the alert was sent out, and we just got answers. Converted from an old railway by the Rails to Trails organization at the end of the 20th century, the Deckers Creek Trail is one of the more popular places to bike in the area. The 19-mile-long stretch goes from Preston to Monongalia counties and is used by hundreds of bikers each year. A woman found dead in a James City County home is believed to be the victim of a homicide. According to police, a neighbor discovered her body Saturday night at a home on Teal Way, which is in the Seasons Trace subdivision. A relative hadn't heard from the woman and had asked the neighbor to check on her. Police say they found evidence of an apparent struggle and are investigating the 42-year-old woman's death as a homicide. Her body is being sent to the medical examiner to confirm her identity and determine a cause of death. Now turning to the weather. Experts say that acid mine drainage can be up to 300 times more acidic than acid rain, and it can burn human skin and kill fish and plants. But one local environmental group is taking action to save some wildlife.
The water may appear clear, but if you take a closer look, you will see how a quiet killer, acid mine drainage, or AMD, has destroyed life in Deckers Creek. Friends of Deckers Creek volunteer coordinator Hannah Spencer says aluminum is one of the elements that seeps into the creek from old abandoned mines.
The aluminum will get caked into the fish gills, and then it basically leads to suffocation of the fish.
Aluminum occurs naturally in rocks. The metal can be removed by acidic water, causing the river major problems.
According to the EPA, a low pH and a high presence of aluminum are enough to result in fish kills. The pH of this water is around 5, enough to keep several species out.
The abandoned Richard Mine in Monongalia County is the major source of acid mine drainage to Deckers Creek. According to Friends of Deckers Creek, the mine dumps more than a ton of acidity and more than 800 pounds of metal each day.
I mean, there's so many different environmental issues to become aware of in the state, in Appalachia, in Morgantown. So there's so much to learn.
The National Resources Conservation Service hopes to build a treatment facility to eliminate AMD from the mine.
Acid mine drainage is so dangerous because it can happen for thousands of years after a mine has been closed. Cleanup is time-consuming and expensive. WVU's Water Research Institute is offering over $100,000 in grants to help with the cleanup of AMD. Marissa, back to you. It's a race on skates, hard hits, crazy names, and a sellout crowd. Just a few signs that the sport is back. The Morgantown Roller Vixens were founded 3 years ago. Derby fan Corey Simmons says his favorite part of the game is when things get competitive.
It's probably like when the girls hit each other and then they fall down and they're just rolling around with each other.
Falls and physical play are a huge part of the game. The excitement can come at a price, however. 12% of skaters report serious physical injury, including hospital visits and extensive physical therapy.
The sport is also known for the culture surrounding it. Eye paint, jewelry, and oddball nicknames are common. Morgantown roller vixen Jess Hall is Peptide Blonde.
We've got librarians and scientists and teachers and all these people that have these like really serious professional lives, and we can just come and goof off and be called, you know, T-Rex or whatever and be superheroes for a day.
The sport was invented in the 1930s and became popular when it was broadcast on television in the 50s. Derby's popularity declined until recently. In the last decade, hundreds of leagues have been created worldwide.
The stuff that they do is just as physical as any other sport, really. More physical than a lot of others, actually, because you're actually hitting each other all the time.
Roller derby was announced last year as a candidate for inclusion in the 2020 Olympic Games. The International Olympic Committee will make a decision in May. Alex Dye, WVU News, Morgantown.
Conventional wisdom tells us that, to lose weight, one needs to burn calories via cardiovascular activity. However, local women see results when they add weightlifting to their routine. Morgantown resident Devin Leach says women who only run are at a disadvantage.
Girls that are like looking to get in shape and lose weight, they normally just come in here and get on the elliptical for, 30, 60 minutes, and that's not going to do it.
Leach is correct. Combining weightlifting with a cardio routine increases a person's metabolic rate, thus burning extra calories. Although you can get your required 30 to 60 minutes of exercise per day doing anything, weightlifting adds an extra element. Lifting helps increase your metabolism, burn calories, and tone your body. A common fear surrounding female weightlifting is that it will make them too bulky. Biology busts that myth.
It's not going to make you big and bulky. It's not going to make your veins stick out and make you unattractive or anything of that nature. It just doesn't happen that way.
Women cannot match the mass of men due to a lack of testosterone. Research suggests that women shun lifting as a guy's activity. Just over 17% of women meet their recommended exercise requirements, compared to over 23% for men. Women are lifting more, however, and those who do are burning fat and preventing disease and injury. Alex Dye, WVU News, Morgantown.